So first off, I'd just like to thank everybody that has watched my videos and commented in the year 2023. I just started this channel in March, so it's not even a year old. And it's been great. There's been great recommendations and great conversations about science fiction books. And it's really been a blast, and I hope 2024 kind of goes down that same road and I have just as much fun with it. So I'm not going to do really a December wrap up. There's videos coming out or have already come out for pretty much everything I've read. There's a few I'm kind of behind on, so just keep an eye out for those. Or you can go to my Goodreads if you really want to see what I read in December. But I came up with some categories for some kind of awards, and I've got about like six books that fit into some of these categories I made up. And then at the end of the video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of my plans going forward in 2024. So the first category I came up with was my favorite reread of 2023. And this happened to be the first video I put out on the channel. I've told people over the years that my favorite science fiction book is a tie between Dune and this book, The Star Is My Destination by Alfred Bester. And I reread this for the channel. It was just as good as I remembered it. I've read a lot of things since, so it might not be my favorite of all time now. I don't know. But Bester is just an amazing writer. He has a crazy style. It's kind of fast-paced and frantic at times. There's so many concepts that are thrown out in this book that's just over 200 pages long. There's paragraphs that got turned into whole science fiction subgenres based on this book, and it's just super influential, super fun read. Favorite reread of 2023. Now next I'm going to go with my favorite book that was in a series for 2023. And before I started this channel, I was kind of finishing up The Expanse, and I read Timeot's Wrath in 2023. This is book 8 of The Expanse, and I just really love this. It set up the finale really well. It had some of these kind of dark horror elements to it, which kind of show up throughout the series that I really enjoyed. And it was just fantastic. So that was my favorite book that was part of a series that I read in 2023. Now, best surprise, I'm going to have to give to No Enemy But Time by Michael Bishop. I had no idea who Michael Bishop was. The book covers of this book don't do it any justice. If you read the back of it, it just sounds kind of weird. But I love this book so much. It was just so much better than I thought it was going to be. It's like a odd time travel book where the main character goes back into proto-human times. I forget how far back, maybe like 2 million years. And it's him in this world that Michael Bishop did a really good job, in my opinion, of recreating this kind of like prehistoric world and everything that's going on in there. It was a fantastic book. I can't wait to read more from Michael Bishop. I've got a few more of his books that sound, the premise actually sounds a little bit more up my alley. So if the writing's the same, I might end up liking those books more than I liked No Enemy But Time, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next, I'm going to go with the book that I'm most likely to reread in the future. So this was a book that I read for the first time in 2023, and I really can't wait to reread it. And that's The Inverted World by Christopher Priest. This is a unique book about this kind of moving city on train tracks that has to maintain a certain speed, and they have to keep building track in front of it. They can't slow down, they can't speed up. You don't really know why. And this book is full of twists and turns. It's got amazing writing by Christopher Priest. And I'm really excited to reread this because I'm sure there's foreshadowing and little Easter eggs that are thrown out throughout the book. Because once you know the concept and what's really going on, I'm just really excited to go back and reread it, knowing what I know now. So that was the most likely to be reread in the future. Okay, next is weirdest book I read in 2023. And science fiction really does lend itself to weirdness because the sky's the limit. You can have crazy aliens. I mean, you can just do whatever you want in science fiction almost. And if you're not familiar, just think of like Philip K. Dick, maybe Samuel R. Delany, or Norman Spinrad. So I'm giving the weirdest book of 2023 to The Void Captain's Tale by Norman Spinrad. This book is just so crazy. First off, Norman Spinrad is probably one of the best writers I've ever read. But he writes the most unique, weird stories. It's really hard to... I don't know. It's just, I feel polarized on him. I love the writing, but some of the things are just so weird. This book is about a captain. In the beginning of the book, he's just trying to figure out how he's going to write this tale. Does he want to just do a series of captain logs? Does he want to do first person, third person? You're just in the mind of this captain as he's having this weird internal debate about how he's even going to write this book. And then you get into the story, and it's so bizarre. It's so, there's kind of like this fantasy element. There's this vivid imagery. But the main concept is there's these spaceships that can travel faster than light by doing these jumps. And our captain is captaining the ship, but the engine is based off of a female who, there's these special women in the universe, and they are part of the ship in a way, and the captain kind of like induces these orgasms into the female, which makes the ship jump. And it may sound dirty and whatnot, but it's not. It's not dirty. It's not raunchy. It's very well thought out. He explains how this works. It's just very unique. There ends up being this kind of weird relationship issue between the captain and the woman who's part of the ship. And it's just very weird. I'm still not sure if I like it. I read this. This was one of the first books I reviewed on the channel. And yeah, so that's the weirdest book I read in 2023. And so now I'm going to give the award to my favorite overall book for 2023. And it was kind of a toss-up between two books. One of them was Blindsight by Peter Watts, but I don't have a copy of that book, so instantly just kind of made me decide to go with Earth Abides by George R. Stewart. And this is just a fantastic book. This is a post-apocalyptic book. It was written in 1949. It reads way ahead of its time. It follows one main character as he kind of goes through this calamity, and then he's traveling around the country for a while till he ends up kind of back in the Bay Area. That's where most of the story takes place. And groups of survivors are trying to rebuild civilization, and they're kind of going down one path, and our main character is trying to preserve everything that humanity has come up with up to this point. And he seems to be the only one making this attempt. And there's just the writing and being inside this main character's head was just done very well. And I love post-apocalyptic books. So that was my book of the year. So next, just what I've got planned for 2024. I'm just going to kind of keep doing the same thing. I'm going to do book reviews, series reviews, book hauls. I'm not sure if I'm going to do monthly wrap-ups anymore. If people like those, leave a comment. It doesn't seem like it gets much traction on those, but I'm still kind of torn if I'm going to do those. And then I throw out these random videos every once in a while. And the next one I have slated is a video kind of describing my inventory system I use, because my book collection's getting pretty big. It's up around 1,000 books probably at this point. And I mentioned in one of my book hauls this program I use. It's a fantastic program. It's free. It has no ads. It has its pros and its cons. It's definitely not for everybody. But I finally figured out how to get my phone to display up on the computer so I can kind of show people how it works, and that's going to be my next kind of like oddball video for 2024. So look for that one coming out soon. And other than that, like I said, 2023 was a great year, and really looking forward to 2024. And thanks for watching.